Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The race starts in 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to the Alan Show. The race starts on 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome to the Alan Show. Welcome to the Alan Show. This show is all about coming out of this situation or any situations without any scratches by using our intellect, by using our ability to stay strong. 1 second, please. Again, my show is not edited, it's not anything. Whatever happens, it happens. It's a one-shot recording. Light up your country, light up your heart, light up your mind. Light up the world. The world continues to be in more and more need of illumination, lighting, intelligence, right? Light up everything that you can around you with people, giving them the good news that everything in the end is going to be okay. Remember, in my show, I always encourage people to go to those 99-cent stores. I don't My store used to be 99 cents. Now it's 151, by the way. And they say, right, whatever. Okay, so, right, this actually is the most rewarding, lowest cost form of entertainment. Our minds are amazing. It's amazing the imagination that we can create. And then when we put it in writing, whether it's drawings or poetry or writing ideas or writing a book or writing small stories, especially stories for like grown-ups, children, like little small things, right? We all start with little steps. Everybody is so, that's why I put that. It's just like on a race every day. It's a rat race out there. Every day, right? People gets out of their bed and 75 miles an hour. The common sense ones go to work or to their activities, right? And then to go to a full stop. And then they go home. And a lot of times, right, are people happy? Are people, right? I'm not a doctor. I'm not a professional. I'm a salesman for many, many decades. And I learned many psychological, mental abilities to overcome a lot of situations, especially when you are commission sales. You have to always be in a certain state of mind to be able to succeed, right? That doesn't mean anything, but what it means is learning is very essential, right? And staying on the right track of optimism, right? To be positive about things, right? You think about it. You go to a place of work, right, with zero income. You have to create it, all of it, from nothing. And then you fill yourself with all this ability to create from nothing. You have a product, you have a prospect. You don't have a customer yet. So what happened to the world today? What's all this rush for? We having a conflict, right, in the east of Europe, and talking about super speed things, right? I'm not going to say names. You can read between the lines. You smart man, smart woman, smart young man, smart young woman. We got to match that, right? The competition. Right? The world is in a competition. I just saw the news today. They just announced new treaties, new this, new that. Everybody's up on arms, right? Nobody's playing tennis anymore. Or golf. What happened to that? Everybody is out there feeding the beast. Let's talk. Today is Friday, June 24, 2022. It's an amazing day, sunny, summer in California. Beautiful. Hot and beautiful. But today is less humid. It feels less humid. The C19 days, right? 833 days. They still haven't said it's over. Somebody forgot the bell, right? Whatever. Think and question, right? Welcome to the Alan Show again. The world. About 8 billion people, right? Everybody trying to do the same thing you're trying in a different way. Or maybe the same way. Are we winning? Are we failing? Are we winners or are we whiners? What is a winner anyways? Is a winner the one that gets in first place always? Right? I always see a winner as somebody who sets up a goal and finishes. That's why we have this obsession with competition. Whether it's a crazy goal or a good goal or an economical goal, the idea of humans is to see something being realized, being materialized, right? That's why I tell you the great power of reading and writing and, right, putting everything noted out, and then you follow the progress and you manage the production and manage the behavior, make sure everything goes together and falls together. At the end of the project forecast that you did, then you see what percentage you achieve, right? If we're always above 50%, we know we're magnificent in these days of competition. Everything is hard now because more people, more abilities, more technology, more everything. People has a kind of like a little bit of an even kill, right? Start line. So the competition, right? 2022 has been a very competitive year for all the world countries, right? From America all the way to, you hear Russia a lot in the news, right? You hear Ukraine, you hear everything. China, a lot of competition. India, right? And a new players emerging. Brazil's, countries in Africa. Africa is emerging again, right? So there is competition because technology and advancements, right, are allowing this to happen. But let's talk about something a little more important. Competition is always good. It keeps us, let me lower this a little bit. You can see my hands. I like talking with my hands. Too high. Hey, my show is not edited, so competition is, I grew up in competition. I was a soccer player in amateur stuff, and I was always driven, not just so much to the winning aspect of it, not just to, pick up that trophy. I have many, these are my sales trophies, right? But also not to end up like this guy. Hey guys, I always end up in second place. What's going on? I want one of those trophies too. I want to be a winner, not a whiner, a winner. Mr. Dom is always trying to beat me, but he can't, right? Because he's got to do whatever I say. So that's how it is, right? Competition. What happens when competition is not fair, right? Like me and Mr. Domi. He always has to start a few steps behind me. Excuse me. Because I always have to win. No. What happens with worldwide when countries are not playing fair with other countries? where we want the second racer 2 steps back. Because we can look bad or we can lose. Because we're whiners, not winners. We're whiners. When we lose, I'm not saying us, I'm talking about in general. Do we learn anything, right? Do we go back to the drawing board, right? And learn. Why did we lose? We were not supposed to lose. Who guarantees you winning unless you rig the stuff, right? The only way you can know that 100% you were going to win is because you already had rigged this. And we have made laws and all kinds of things against these things because we are constantly on the guard of keeping the game clean. There's nothing wrong in coming in second place if, number one, Fairleigh beat you, and second, he trained harder than you. There has been so many stories, right? Especially in boxing. Boxing is the perfect example of this. When a boxer is the champion, he takes it for granted, and here comes a nobody in terms of, right? Somebody he never even thought he would end up fighting, and he ended up losing the belt to that person. It's traumatic, right? Of course it is. No matter how hard you have, work out, but you did not stay on top. You took it for granted. And as long as we're competing, we cannot take our competitors for granted. No matter how distant they look from afar, right? Like, they are in competition. And remember, whoever doesn't have it is going to want it more. It's natural. It's very hard to back-to-back being champion unless something is really wrong, right? We've seen teams always winning, and you're like, wait a minute. And then when you're watching the game, hey, that call, there's elements, the influence, the outcome. Like in the old days when the Lions used to fight, right? I bet you there was always that one guy who went to see the thing and always bet on the guy. Hope, right? Optimism, blind optimism. So for the young minds, right? Are we competing? Right? Are we competing fairly, right? Are we getting angry every time we lose? Are we learning anything when we lose? Because I remember one of the things that I used to love is when I came into like either second place or something, but I did my best. Because I not only end up in second place, which is a great place to be at, right? It's better than third, or it's better than not be at, right? But it made me stronger for the next time. It made me aware of a few things that I was missing. Because sometimes you can lose to a guy who is just dynamic for that particular time. But now you are an experienced winner, so you know that what not to take for granted the next time you're competing. Right? And this went on month to month, right? It's like being a player in a team every season, right? You have to. What are we learning, right? So there has been this detrimental thing to the competition spirit, where people just play tricks, right? Or just trip on the other. That's very dangerous, right? Because we don't learn, and that's how things become outdated, right? And abilities die when we don't learn anymore, when we become obsolete. Now you see how important that is as a country. If we trip the competition, right? If we constantly get to the habit of being a false winner, just by saying it, or because nobody can say it otherwise, right? It's a very dangerous thing because it gets hollow inside. And when the real competition comes, right? The ones that want it, it's always somebody want what you have. Then it becomes very, very complicated. Right? In order to stay in first place in anything, you have to have all your games in order. behavior, production, sacrifice, hard work, all those things. You can't just be partying. Hey, I won. Have you ever seen those people that, hey, I won, I'm first, I'm champion? He blew all his money and now he's all stressed out. So he's got people coming, knocking on the door, so he doesn't have the concentration that he used to have before when he wanted it. We all been there, right? When we want it, when we have it, and when we lose it. We talk about that in a few shows back. This is an inspiration, that's all it is. Who can add one more hour to his life or one more minute just by worrying? So we're so worried that the competition is getting close, right? That we start playing tricks. We start figuring out how to make the line longer for that and shorter for us. We're not being true competitors. We've seen that, right? People always trying to cheat, right? We have cameras everywhere in stores because people trying to cheat, right? Everybody agrees to their income, right? When they need something, right? They go, oh yeah, I'll do whatever. Once they're there, people change, right? Competition. Oh, I want what that guy has, but hey, the guy shows up on time. He always stay a little longer. He's always available. And you always hang over on Saturday morning and Sunday. Where do we get this idea that we're going to be number one by being sloppy, by being careless, by being reckless, right? By not caring, by taking for granted the competition. It really doesn't matter. If you want to be number one, there's a lot of sacrifice, but there's a lot of rewarding in that moment. And you heard the old saying, it's lonely at the top. Everybody dislikes you. And some people don't like that. They don't like criticism. So that's why it's hard to stay up there. There has been some great stories about teams and things that they won so many times straight because they were truly great. And guess what? Once you convince everybody, then everybody loves you. Everybody wants you to win. Because you are truly good, right? It's like a play. If a play is great, people will go year after year after year, and it will be an event for the year for them because it's so good and the cast is so good that you stay number one. Because you're good and you don't take for granted the people that are out there. The whole operation, it's important in all levels, right? And that's what competition is, right? It's a way to bring us up. Whether we're doing it globally, as a nation against nation, whether we're doing it at work, right? Corporation against corporation, right? Like, those burger corporations, they always constantly trying to outmanage one another, right? But to play tricks, to make the line longer for one another, it's not good for anything. It doesn't build, it destroys in the end. When all the gimmicks and all the flunders appear, then everybody gets angry. You're cheating. They get angry. And once that finger goes like that, now we have conflict. You're not being fair. You're not abiding to your words, to your own commitments. And we trusted you, and now we trusted you. We don't compete with you anymore. We don't want you around. You're a cheater. Relationships, the same way, right? Husband and wife. Sometimes husband and wives, they get on a competition. Instead of fighting the world together, they're fighting each other. The competition is the world already. When two people decide to get together, I've been married, right? It's because we want to together fight the world, because the world can be a very hostile place, right? For one person, and two, it makes it better. But then one does better than the other, it becomes a competition internally. That's what destroy most companies is internally, like the Trojan horse. When people start envying each other, when people start tricking each other, tripping each other, doing things that are against the true spirit of competition. How many companies in your lifetime you have seen go down? And I guarantee you they all could have been saved, you know, if they would have changed the way they compete. It's not that hard. It's the true spirit. It's the true spirit of learning constantly from your mistakes and repairing those things and making them better. And when you're up there, you need to be stronger than ever, because that's where everything falls apart. Right? When you have greatness, right, then it's like, I'll give you a perfect example. You buy a shiny diamond out of the store and you let it sit for a while. No touch, nothing, just let it sit. You start seeing the brightness go down. By natural. It's a natural way of thing. So you have to polish it, right? Constantly cleaning it. You know? Anybody that has jewelry, you can't, it will tarnish, right? Whatever the metal is, whatever the rock is. Right? There's no perfect brilliance. You have to work at it constantly. For the young minds, right? This is exciting times. This is where you see opportunities, because you see that things are going to need that new talent, that new idea, right? Where can I fix something, right? And then go in there. There was nothing that I loved the most when I went into a job that needed a little bit of uplifting, because I brought in that energy, that thing that makes things forward, thrive, upward, and we saw results. A good team, right, brought in good numbers, good, and everybody was happy. Then the problems start because, again, mismanagement, misleading, many other areas. But when you are there, like a Hawkeye, looking at all those things, and managing behavior, right, correcting behavior, and managing production. A lot of people, they want to look like a mom and dad at work. No, you don't do it. No, that's not how it is. You manage the production of the person involved. Mom and dad, that's the other part. That's why you have guidelines and things you follow here, right? And what's going on today? Everybody wants to be everybody's mommy and daddy, right? Oh, you can't say this, you can't do that, you can. And what the hell? So everybody goes, okay. They point that finger, right? And when that finger goes up, conflict and chaos follows, unless the competition goes back to being fair, right? You can't gang up on people. You can't do those things and expect to compete fairly and succeed. Eventually, we seen greatness, right? We seen in this earth, right? They always teach you in school all those old empires that are falling. Like, what the hell? What are you telling me this for? This is very sad. This is very sad. Oh, well, we just wanted to show you the rocks. No, I want to know why. Why they don't exist anymore. They were great. The clothing, like, you see, like, who wouldn't want to? The styling. The competition. Wherever you go today, you're going to be competing. Right? You go to the supermarket, you're going to be competing for that meat. If there's a lot, you're not going to have a problem. But if it starts shrinking down, you're going to have a problem. So what are you going to do? You're going to go to the manager, you're going to use your beauty, you're going to use your money. You see, the competition. Everything in this earth is based on that principle. We all fighting for the same things. And as long as we're prosper, nobody has a problem. In fact, people have a problem. Some people are winners, but they're naturally whiners. There's people with tons of money that are always complaining about everything. Right? Why? Because they don't have the spirit of the competition. Hey, I won. I'm staying up here. I'm going to help somebody else. I'm going to encourage others. I'm not going to trip them. I'm not going to trick them. Yeah? I'm going to help him, right? So when 9, 8, 7, so you, if for any reason things start to obsolete for you, right? We cannot, like I said, like the diamond, right? Maybe the business that you're in is going out of style, right? Who wears this anymore? Right? Rarely you see people wearing this thing. But back in the 30s, in the 40s, even 50s, this thing, you had a hat store? Right? Who buy hats then? Competition, right? They buy hair now. Hey, it's for sale. Somebody has to sell it, right? So now you can see how salespeople are more important than ever before, right? But if you go to a store, where is the sales? There are no skills. There's not. I don't want to help that. Why? Because there is no spirit of the competition. People get paid for doing whatever they can do. Why people are having trouble finding employees? Because there's no spirit of the competition. People just gonna go there to a bleep, bleep. Where's the life? We all fire. We all human beings, right? And we all want to win. Some want to win to be whiners. But someone wants to win to be winners. Right? How do we turn this fire up? It's by, again, deciding what goal, what objective we're going to do, and have that spirit of competing, not to glorify ourselves, but to bring an entire team up. Remember, it's very hard, even in tennis, to be a winner all by yourself. You need a team behind you, right? Because it needs to release all those stresses away. So when you create that team, that is a winning team, you light up the world. You light up yourself, your mind. You light up others. You light up your countrymen. Right? You light up the world. And we are in good spirit of winning. Right? Have you ever heard of the races, right? Like if you see right now, we again on a weapons race, right? Every country is trying to, again, why? Because somebody was cheating. And he got everybody upset. Right? So, don't drive fast, compete. Right? This is the Alan Show. And if you see one of these, please let me know. No, I don't mean alien, I mean that toy. Mine is falling apart. I need to get another one. I love him. This is the Alan Show, and remember this. Compete fairly. Be kind, right? Don't be out there so stressed out, right? Yeah. So, a lot of competition going on out there that is unhealthy, right? We all start at the same line and the finish line, right? There's nothing wrong with being second as long as you learn something about yourself and your team. And remember, if you're a family member, your team is your family. Your mom, your dad. If you're married, your team is your kids. Team, call it whatever team you are, right? And go out there and conquer the world and make it better. Light it up, right? So this is Alan from the Alan Show. And remember, just because things gets a little heated up, crazy out there in public, you don't have to participate. Compete in a healthy way. Don't allow the mobs to drag you into the madness. Nothing good comes out of those things. Compete fairly, and don't allow people to trick you, to trample you, and to make you a whiner, okay? So again, have a great Friday. I'll be seeing you again. Thank you for tuning in, and for that one person, thank you very much for tuning in. Love you. Bye.